readers are excited about Greek mythology thanks to best-selling author Rick Riordan.
The fourth book in the Trials of Apollo comes out tomorrow, and he joins us now live to talk about the tyrant's tomb and his other passions. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. My son is, of course, a Percy Jackson fan, and you have this whole other series about Apollo. Set up the series, if you would, if someone has yet to read one of the books.
Sure. Well, this is still in Percy Jackson's world, so we're still dealing with Greek mythology, gods, monsters, villains, all from that, but set in modern-day America. The twist on the Trials of Apollo is that we're back in that world, but our narrator now is Apollo, except he's no longer a god. He's been punished by his father Zeus. He's been grounded, basically, turned into a weak, mortal 16-year-old and sent down here to interact with the rest of us poor mortals. And he's got to figure out what to do to get back into his dad's good graces.
So what are the takeaways then for young readers as they probably navigate a few of these things of their own during their school day?
Absolutely. I think the concept of being punished unfairly is something that resonates with a lot of young readers. Also the idea that, you know, you feel like you should be a god inside. You feel like you should be good at things and you should be popular. You should be able to do what you want to do, but somehow you keep tripping over your own feet and not having the right words and being powerless to change things. Again, this is what Apollo's up against, but it's also what a lot of young readers feel like a lot of the time.
You know, I have to admit that growing up, like, Greek mythology was probably my least favorite topic to read about, but why is it important for you to expose young readers to this kind of, I guess, these kinds of stories?
That's so interesting to hear because so often, well, if it's done well, it can be a really high interest subject matter. I was a teacher for many years in the middle grades, and I know, well, when I was that age, I loved Greek mythology. I was fortunate I had a really good teacher who made it interesting. And I tried to do that with my own students. I think if you are interested in Greek mythology, like a lot of middle schoolers are, it's because these heroes and gods were our first superheroes. They are bigger than life, but they also have all the failings that normal humans do. And so that makes them really interesting characters to look at. And the stories just are marvelous. They have so much adventure and romance and action and mystery, everything you could want in a good fantasy.
I'd imagine this is rooted in your classroom experience, but you have a significant commitment to ADHD and dyslexia awareness. How does that manifest in your books as well?
Right. Well, really, Percy Jackson was inspired by my own son's struggle. He, when he was 8 years old, was diagnosed with dyslexia and ADHD. And because of him, I made up a bedtime story to make him sort of feel better about a Greek hero, Percy Jackson, who discovers he also has dyslexia and ADHD. And in fact, those learning differences are a sign that you might be a demigod. And so we turned it into a strength, and that changed the way my son saw himself and his experience at school. And here we are 14 books later into Percy Jackson's world, and it's resonated with a lot of readers around the world.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a real honor to talk with you. The Tyrant's Tomb is available tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thank you.